Hi, so I decided to make a new playlist all about painful magic. And I have to be honest with you, I have a lot of anxiety making this decision because even though I have a very small following, I know that my channel will grow one day, and because of this love and light trend that is going on, people tend to get mad and judge the ones that practice both negative and positive magic. To me, there is no light without darkness, and they both have to exist to create a balance. If you choose to practice only positive magic, it is your choice. Just know that it's very hard to do spells that will not harm anyone in any way. What I mean by that is, let's say you are doing the famous get a job example. So you do a spell to get a job, everything in the name of love and light. You don't want to harm anyone, right? You get the job, and this job was supposed to get someone else that has maybe a very difficult situation, and someone is sick in his family and no can't get a treatment and no will suffer. And all you wanted is just to get that job. You didn't want to harm anyone. It's honestly very hard to practice magic that won't affect people around you. It requires precision and very specific intentions and a lot of thought. If you decide to follow the light path, or whatever people refer to it, you can do that, and there is nothing wrong with that, but keep in mind that it would be useful to just learn about negative magic even if you don't want to practice it, because in order to defend yourself, you have to know that you are defending yourself from. Throughout the history, practitioners would practice both negative and positive magic, and in this new playlist I want to talk about banishing workings, what is a curse, a hex, different types of plants that were used for baneful magic, and many more for learning purposes so that you can learn, and if one day you have to defend yourself, you have the knowledge to identify it. Also, I wanted to talk about herbs and plants that are not so commonly used in our practice today, but it's still interesting to learn about. And what I mean by that is that there are herbs not meant to be used on your skin or ingested, but rather used for their magical properties. And for this reason, I'm doing this new playlist so that the safe plants are separate from more dangerous ones. So in this video, I want to talk about the history of mistletoe and its uses in our magical practice. The gender of this plant is masculine, the planet is sun, and the element is air. Mistletoe has a lot of spellcraft history. It was used by druids, and it's closely associated with Yule and Christmas. The connection of this plant with the winter holidays comes from druidic influences. This plant is connected with immortality and life in the midst of death, as any plant that can grow when others cannot must be able to defy death itself. It was said that the druids were able to see and speak with ghosts while holding a branch of mistletoe. Mistletoe has always been considered magical. This parasitic plant don't grow on the ground, but only in trees, where its roots steal nutrients from its host. It was believed that mistletoe started to grow from branches where birds had left their droppings. While birds helped in propagation of this plant, sadly, mistletoe was once used to cause damage to the bird population. Up until the 16th century, it was a core ingredient in creating bird lime that was used to capture small birds. Mistletoe was used on a branch, and because it was sticky, it could trap small birds, but sometimes it was used to trap a larger bird by tethering a small bird to it. The berries of mistletoe are toxic, but not hugely so. Ingestion of the berries was never been recorded as causing long-lasting effects, but can cause symptoms of drunkenness that can pass within a day or two. The most famous tradition involving this plant is the act of kissing beneath it in the winter season. Back in history, if a couple kissed beneath it, it was intended as a promise to marry in the coming year. Traditionally, with each kiss that was shared beneath it, a berry should be plucked from the branch, and once all berries were gone, there would be no kissing anymore. If a person remained after this who had not been kissed, they should remain single for the coming year. In Scandinavian countries, it was associated with war. Its branches resemble lightning, and for this reason, it's linked with stories of Norse god Thor. In Sweden, it is known as Thunderbesom. The name derives from a tradition where those who suffered epilepsy might carry a sprig of mistletoe to prevent them from being struck down by the inner electrical storm of an epileptic attack. A Norse legend tells about the death of Baldur, the god of light and son of Odin and Frigg. He became troubled by dreams that he would die, so his mother made every living thing on earth swear that they won't harm him, but she overlooked the mistletoe. When the trickster god Loki found out about it, he planned to end his life. So he made an arrow from mistletoe. And when Baldur made a game to prove everyone that he is invisible and invited everyone to hit him with their weapons, Loki encouraged the blind god Hod to fire at him with his mistletoe arrow, and his dreams became true. The white mistletoe berries are said to be the tears of Frigg she shed upon realizing that her son was dead. Mistletoe is used for protection against lightning, diseases, misfortune of every kind, fairies. It is carried or placed in an appropriate spot for these uses. The parts used are the leaves and berries. Please remember that it can be toxic if ingested, so it's only used for magical purposes. You can touch it but not consume it or make anointing oils with it. Mistletoe is placed in cradles to protect children from being stolen by fairies and replaced with changelings. A ring carved from mistletoe wood will ward off sickness when worn. When carried, the plant will help to heal wounds. Please don't use it on wounds. Again, this is a toxic plant. It is also carried or worn for good luck in hunting. It is also used in spells to capture that elusive state of immortality and to open locks. Laid near the bedroom door, mistletoe gives restful sleep and beautiful dreams. You can also place it beneath the pillow or hang at the headboard for the same reason. If you kiss your love beneath the mistletoe, you will stay in love. It can be burned for banishing purposes as well. It can be worn around your neck to obtain invisibility. While the leaves are not poisonous, the berries definitely are and should never be consumed. You can still use the berries to a herbal amulet to attract love and increase fertility. Let me know if you ever use mistletoe in your practice and what is your favorite way of using it. If you would love to support this channel, you can always check my Etsy shop. If this video was useful, you can give it a like so that more people can see it. Subscribe for more witchcraft content and see you in my next one.